Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam. This is Tata Lucero coming back at you with another video. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about different types of love spells, how they work, and exactly what you can expect when you're getting these kind of works done, okay? So a lot of people think that when you're getting love work done and things of that nature, that is simply just, a one size fits all, and that's not the case, guys. And I've addressed this a little bit previously in the past, but I wanted to get a little bit more into it for the viewers and for the clients, so people can understand what exactly it is you're getting done when you get these types of works completed for you. So let's jump right in. So the first work that we're going to talk about is love and honey jars. Okay, love and honey jars, depending what spirit is put behind it, is a type of work that is designed to basically cause a sweetening effect, to sweeten the person of your desire to bring them to you, okay, or to cause an obsession or a sexual interest or a love interest, etc. Now, the thing with these works is that while they are effective, if you have a target, for example, that is very stubborn, you have a target that is they have a very strong will, it's not that these won't work, but they will definitely take more time, and this is something that I've seen from experience. When you do these kind of works, again, you have to understand, when it comes to honey and love jars, yes, some can go against the person's will, but for the most part, it is more of an influencing effect versus anything else. It is not really breaking down their will or basically, forcing them to do something against their will, other than simply influencing them to have feelings that they did not otherwise have. Now, with that being said, these kind of spells are ideal, for a situation, maybe you have a situation where you're talking to an individual, or you've been seeing an individual for some time, there's a mutual interest, but you just want to speed things along, this would be a good start for you. This would be a good place to go, because there's already an interest going on. There's already a, how you could say, a mutual attraction, right? It's not like you had a breakup or something like that, and you're trying to force the person against their will to come back or something of that nature. No, you're actually already in the situation that you want to be. You just want to give it a little push. So yeah, that's the first one. That's what I have to say about the the honey jars and love sweetening type of works. Okay, now let's get into the next stage of works. Okay, now the next stage of works is going to be what we consider a love domination work. Okay, and for those of you that have worked with me in the past, you know that one of my best-selling works is the Palo Mayombe love domination spell, that works with the Mpungo Mamachola Gwengi. Okay, now getting into that work a little bit, okay, breaking that down. This work, or what we call in Palo and in Sada or Bilongo, etc., when you get into domination works, right? Okay, a domination work is basically, is simply put, it is a spell that dominates the will of another person. Okay, that is what the short translation to that. It dominates the will of the target or the other person to make them act in a way that they would not otherwise act. Now, getting into this a little bit, these spells are definitely much stronger, okay, because number one, they are dealing with a lot of raw materials. And what I mean by raw materials, I mean spiritual supplies, different herbs and bilongo powders that we use in these kind of works, right? So getting into that a little bit, these works are definitely a bit stronger for the simple fact that they actually send a spirit or a muerto to attach to the person, while the mpungo basically carries that muerto to attach to the person, etc. Now, with these, again, they do push the will of the individual. They do break down their stubborn will. If there's someone that is stubborn, or is someone that is, just not showing you that much interest, or if it's someone that say, you never had, intimate, relations with in the past, or you've never had, say like you've never actually spent a lot of time with this person, but it's someone you want to, push that kind of affair with, this might be the work for you. So and another thing to touch on that is that which I'm going to get to more at the end of this video, but guys, when it comes down to these kind of spiritual works, always get a reading done. Okay, a lot of times people come in, they're like, I just want this, I just want that. No, that's not how we work. The first step is to set up a consultation, get a reading done, and find out which work is going to work the fastest for your situation, because not every single work can work for everybody the same way. Okay, like for one person, they might be able to get one type of work, but another person, the spirit might recommend, this isn't strong enough for your situation. Or on the other case, maybe it's too strong for your situation. You know what I mean? So keeping that in mind, guys, always need to get the reading done first, okay? Now, getting into the next type of work, okay, which is another one that I do work with a lot for clients, especially on more stubborn cases, or people that are just, they have targets that are very stubborn, they're very set in their ways, and things of that nature, is the Indoki mind control spell. Okay, so getting into this, okay, the Indoki mind control spell, which I did release a video previously on this. The Indoki mind control spell works to control the minds and the spiritual frame of the individual. Now, let's break that down practically. Okay, so what does that mean? When you are working with Indoki, right, and there's only so much I can say because it is secrets of the Mayombe tradition, but when you are working with the Indoki in a situation, because the Indoki is a type of, you could say like a demonium, but they're a creature of the night, of Malungo of the trees, okay? When you are working with them, they are good for dominating and mind control types of works. Now, when I say this, a lot of people, they may not understand, or, for lack of experience, may not understand what exactly that means, right? So, for example, when you're working with an Indoki, there's many ways that Indokis can be sent out via different Insaras, different Fiolesas, Fiola works, and things like that. Now, to break that down, for the viewers that are not too familiar with Mayombe, is when you're working with an Indoki, you're basically an aggressive spirit of this nature, okay? You are essentially sending the spirit out to attach to the person's auric field, to their spiritual frame, right? And even physically, to a certain degree, the spirit will become physically attached to that person's body, to that person's brainstem, to that person's spine, their spinal column. And what ends up happening is that spirit begins to take control over the person's mind, right? And what this spirit does is, and this work specifically, is it breaks down their mental way of thinking. They're basically their mental train of thought, you can say. So if they're dead set, just as an example, they're dead set on, I never want to be with this person. I don't have any interest in this person. I'm going to just continue doing what I do. Person comes to me or comes to someone that works with the Indoki. The Indoki will then go out and basically say, okay, well, I'm going to force you to do that. And how they do that is that they begin removing, trying to think how I can explain this. They begin removing the train of thought, right? They begin removing this person's thoughts of you could say negativity in your situation, because it's not conducive to what you want. They begin removing the thoughts that person has. For example, they begin removing the thoughts of, no, I don't want to be with this person, with I do want to be with this person. They begin removing the thoughts of, oh, I'm not attracted to this person, to I am attracted to this person, and begin fueling those thoughts with emotion, right? Because emotion sets things into motion. So they begin playing on the person's emotions and basically fueling those energies and those basically those emotions of love or attraction or sexual attraction to the person, etc. So yes, so with that being said, that is how the Indoki work works. It does go against the person's free will. It breaks it down so that it is replaced then, in a sense, with your will or the will of the Tata or the Sorcerer. Okay, and I think I did touch on this in a previous video, but I wanted to throw this one in there because the Indoki spell, if you have a target that is very, very stubborn, it is extremely powerful to break that will down. Now, getting into, let's get into the next here. So now, The next work that I want to talk about in this video, and this is probably going to be the last one for today as far as the spells, is the Siete Espíritu en Tranquilo, or it was basically a work that deals with the seven and tranquil spirits in Mayombe. And this type of work is very, it's a bit dangerous and it's very powerful. And I will say this, it definitely does have a bit of, side effects, which we'll get into in a bit, but, it's nothing that can't be controlled. So getting into that, okay, so what is the seven and tranquil spirits, or the Siete Espíritu en Tranquilo, okay? The Siete Espíritu en Tranquilo are seven spirits. They are seven spirits of the cemetery, or seven muertos, okay? Now, this type of work is very complex. It can be done somewhat simply. It can be more complex depending on the Tata or the Palero that is performing it. It can be done in many different ways. Now, getting into it a bit, and I can't say a lot about this one because, again, there's a lot more secrets of Mayombe that goes into this on how it actually, you could say spiritually or even scientifically boils down to an effect, right? So getting into it, right, you essentially what you are doing, or what the Tata would be doing with this type of work, is basically you are placing a certain type of, and I won't, again, I'm not going to get too deep into this, but you're placing a certain type of impungo along with seven in tranquil spirits around the auric field of an individual. Now, this work in itself is extremely powerful because the thing that you're essentially doing is you're not only similar to the Indoki, you are essentially mind controlling that person. You're doing head work. You're mind controlling that person. You are forcing them against their will to come back to you. Now, aside from that, you are also essentially on top of that placing seven in tranquil spirits around the body or the auric field of the person to deliver them to you. Okay. Now, with that being said, what are we'll say the benefits of that for, let's say, for the client or for the person that's getting this work done? The benefits for that is that this type of work right here, it will remove what I like to call rifle lovers, or people that the person, the target, is seeing, right? So if you have someone that is cheating, boyfriend or girlfriend or husband, wife, etc., that's cheating, it will get rid of those things. It will get rid of these other people. That is the first benefit. Number two, it will prevent the person from leaving. Now, most of all these works that I've mentioned are permanent, but this one specifically will prevent and actively prevent the person, once they return to you, it will prevent them from leaving again. So this one is, I would say, I don't normally do this one a lot. It's more so for cases that are very stubborn and very hard for the person to accomplish. Maybe they've gotten work done in the past, it just hasn't worked. Maybe they've went to other people and they just need something stronger. This is something that I'll normally recommend if it do come out in the reading. Okay. So yeah, that is essentially how the seven in tranquil spirit spell, how it actually boils down and works within Mayombe. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to wrap up this video, guys, because it's a little longer than I wanted it to be. But I did want to jump out there and, just give you guys this little bit of information, because I know a lot of people always writing in and asking questions about the spells and things of that nature, and I've been extremely busy, so I haven't had a chance this week to post any videos. But yeah, if you guys do need to book any work with me, you can contact my assistant on the telephone number that's in the description box or somewhere in this video. And yeah, that's all for now, guys. Salam alaikum, alaikum salam. Hope all is well, and I'll talk to you soon.